When I kicked off, I had absolutely no idea on how to get clients or how to acquire people. I had no idea on how to effectively market myself or get my right messaging across. When I got people in front of me, I was, so fearful that I might lose them or lose an opportunity that I was always discounting or doing whatever I could to try and entice somebody to sign up. I became that personal trainer that would train anyone, anywhere, anytime. And so I kind of walked around and I used that as a bit of a badge of honor. It was almost like, early mornings, middle of the days, late nights, weekends, you name it. I was too afraid to say no to people in fear that I might lose out on business. I was too afraid to do stuff like enforce cancellation policies. So in the very beginning, I just didn't have them. But then when I eventually got a cancellation policy in place, I was too afraid to enforce it in fear that I might upset people, in fear that they might stop coming back, in fear that they might think that I'm just in it for the money and all that sort of stuff. And so what it meant for me during that time was that it was very challenging. I was too afraid to increase my rates. Now, you heard of this already, charging $400 a session. I certainly didn't start out, and I certainly didn't have the right mindset on what it took to earn what I was worth. And so what I notice right now in this industry is these things are pretty common. So I look back, and that was the first 5 years for myself in the industry. Now, have a think about where you sit in the industry at the moment. Are you new to it? Are you within your first 12 months? Are you within your first 2 years or your first 3 years? Or are you potentially within your first 5 years in the industry? And the question I've got for you is that inside your first 5 years, would you like to be following a roller coaster journey a bit like I was? So when I look back at that point in time, at that roller coaster journey, there were times on that timeline where things seemed to be moving okay. I.e., when I started out, I really had no clue on how to get people, and very slowly I started building up. But then over that 5 years, there were times when clients would come in, and I would start to get some clients and get some momentum, and there would be some cash flow coming into the business. And then all of a sudden, for no apparent reason, suddenly I might lose 1, 2, maybe 3 clients, all in a small space in time, maybe 1 or 2 weeks. And what that meant for me is that it presented me with an incredibly stressful situation, because I had no concept or no methodology on how I was going to find the next person once I'd lost that previous person.